fire fees, which is basically a tax for the city of Statesboro, in response to Bulloch County withdrawing from the fire district. That wouldn't be so bad if the city of Statesboro just had the responsibility and maintained the responsibility of providing fire services for the city of Statesboro, because we would probably become a level 1 fire district, and this additional cost to our taxes would be at least somewhat offset by the savings people inside the city of Statesboro will get on our insurance. But as the initial volley of proposals offered to the county is that what y'all are suggesting to the city of Statesboro is that the city of Statesboro continue to provide emergency service, an automatic response, sending out a $3 million fire truck every time there's a call out into the county. And that the city of Statesboro, meaning taxpayers who live in Statesboro who pay county taxes, will pay 100% of the tax burden to fund those fire trucks to go out into the county to service every time there's a call. And I'm just saying, as a county taxpayer and as a city taxpayer, that is not fair. I think if the county wants to withdraw from the fire district, that's fine. Our taxes are going to go up. We're going to get a new tax for that. And what that new tax needs to pay for is for us to become a level 1 fire district so that we get a savings on our insurance. Now, what that does in that fire district outside of the city of Statesboro, that's between you and those people and those insurance companies. But you know, city of Statesboro needs to look after us. And, you know, Bulloch County, you guys need to think, you know, 40% of the people who live in this county live inside the city of Statesboro. And even if they rent, they still pay property taxes and insurance through their rent. And so to put that tax burden on the city of Statesboro and still require us to go out into the county to fight fires, that's just not right. The county needs to help pay for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toole.
William Emily.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. My name is William Emily. I live at 9018 Oakfield Drive, Statesboro, Georgia. I talked with one of my neighbors in Brooklet. I just want to put this in perspective about the ISO rating effects and how it affects an individual and businesses. This individual, before the ISO rating was lowered, their rating was at a 10. And their insurance was being paid at $7,305 for the year. The very next year, when the ISO rating went down because we actually did something good for our people, their fire insurance went down to $2,998. Hell of a savings. The big question I was looking at by looking at the Statesboro Herald, and that is that in December of 2024, the commissioners voted and approved of ending the fire service agreement with the city of Statesboro. But in the same article, there was no mention of what plan was in place to replace if this agreement was dissolved. So me as a homeowner, I'm trying to think of, okay, now do I need to tighten my belt a little bit more because here comes July, is the fiscal year, and what decision that the commissioners made in December to do away with this agreement and not have a plan in place, that to me is poor leadership and poor management. I don't understand how we could do that. That'd be like cutting a limb off a tree and you're cutting the limb that you're sitting on. You have no escape plan. You have no financial responsibility. I don't understand that. I don't understand in the article when it was talking about the interim county manager stating that the old agreement are no longer adhered to fire inspections, and there were deviations from the original agreement. So if there were deviations from the original agreement, what action has been taken to the people, either Bulloch County or the city of Statesboro, on these deviations? Why were the deviations allowed? When we're looking at the cost involved, I'm looking at the articles, and they were talking about that the city of the Bulloch County was also providing services, fire protection services, to the city. So my question was coming up with was, did the city of Statesboro provide funding back to the county for services provided? It seems like it's not a legal or a equal representation. When I did the math, the city of Statesboro received an amount of approximately $2,585,000 for the fiscal year 2024 for around approximately 400 requests. So if we did the math, it comes out to about $6,000 per call. So my question is that if the commissioners are going to think real strongly about doing away with this agreement, what plan do you have in place ready to go on day one of July 1st? I guess it's July 1st when the fiscal year comes into place, the new fiscal year. So the ISO rating does not change for the 5-mile area. And if the answer is you don't have a plan in place, you don't have the resources in place, then how in the world can you do away with the agreement? That's what I have. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Emily.
Matt Hollingsworth.
Good evening, council. My name is Matt Hollingsworth. I'm the owner of Hollingsworth Homes. I am the president of the Statesboro Home Builders Association, and I wanted to just have a few comments about the impact fees. This is unbiased. I'm actually currently on the impact fee committee for Bryan County. They have impact fees that they have adopted ordinances on the south end of the county. They're looking at doing that on the north end of the county, and they've put together a review committee of people in the development industry, so I'm currently on that. So just listening to the presentation, I just made some questions and some thoughts that came tonight. Looking to speak potentially, and I didn't know where we were at in the process with the impact fee. It looks like we're just making a presentation. So really what I want to do is just, I'll go through some of the questions aren't applicable at this point, but it'll give you something to think about as this moves forward to think about. First is, like, why are we presenting impact fees? And I think you did a pretty good job. It's another way to collect for the impact the development is having. And I'll give you an example. In Bryan County, just because that's where the experience I have, that Richmond Hill area is blowing up, and one of the things that they're looking at is the transportation impact. So theirs is a transportation impact fee, and it's additional cost at building permit. The fee is collected when you go to get a building permit, and theirs is $3,500. And it goes to pay for road projects so that the level of service that's provided is maintained. And so when you have development come in and you get more traffic, just like up Main Street here in 5 o'clock, it slows down a lot. And the idea is that, hey, you'll have money to do the road improvements so that you can maintain an acceptable level of service. So that kind of gives you an idea of what they're using it for. And so they're looking at doing that on the north end of the county with the Hyundai plant and the development coming to that Pembroke area. So the first question I have is, like, why are we presenting it? Why are we looking at it? Here's a list of questions that not necessarily applicable, but have we identified any projects? So if we're going to look at doing it, we need to have a list of projects that we're looking at using it on, and I think that a study by a consultant will tell you that. Now, I don't know if it's in the methodology report that you'll get, or if that's just a methodology report telling you what they'll look at. So one thing you want to think about is the $100,000. What exactly are you getting for the $100,000 that you're paying for? The Bryan County is working with a consultant to identify the level of service so that they have an educated capital plan how to spend the money to maintain the level of service. So as you're looking at the methodology report, and if you're actually considering going down this path of doing that, think about, actually what is it going to cost to get us to where we can implement an ordinance? Is this the only source of revenue, right? So if you're looking at transportation projects, is this the only source of revenue that you're going to use for these projects? It can or can't be. I had a question, has there been an independent impact fee committee formed to review this implementation? And then, okay, so I want to highlight it here, has there actually been a study done to evaluate a need? I mean, we definitely have some development coming to Bulloch County, obviously. But is there a need to put a broad impact fee across the entire county? So, I would think that we would want to understand, is there even a need, right? Like before we implement this ordinance, we want to understand that. And so if it's countywide, my question is like, how can it be fair and proportional? And again, I'm not advocating for or against, because if the majority of the development, let's say, is on the south end of the county, why would somebody in the north end of the county and say Portal area have to pay their $3,500 for road projects that are benefiting the opposite end of the county? Now, you can divide it by district and only apply them in districts, so that only if you're getting a permit in that district do you pay it. So that's a potential way to offset it. But you may want to think, how you implement those ordinances, or how you implement the ordinance and who you're actually collecting it from. Just to give you an idea, it takes, I think, we've been paying somewhere $700-800 for a building permit here in Bulloch County. It takes that and triples what you're paying at the time of, or quadruples what you're paying at the time of a building permit to collect those fees. So that cost gets passed on to the end consumer. So it can deter some development and make the developments pay for it, but really it's the end consumers that pay the fee, because the builders are going to basically pass that cost along. So I already covered this a little bit, but does the $100,000 that we're putting into the methodology report include any analysis on the current level of service? I didn't hear any particular reason why Bulloch County needs impact fee. It'd be good to know why we're presenting that and why do we need that. And then a little bit about the study in Bryan County. It's actually taken quite. Okay, thank you.
Lawton Sack.
I'll defer. Thanks.
Okay. That concludes our public comments. Do we have any comments from the commissioners or staff? Ms. Steinman?
I would recommend, if it's okay with you, to have our Fire Chief Ben Tapley come forward and maybe address some of the questions that were asked a little bit earlier
Absolutely.
about.
Good afternoon, Ben Tapley, Bulloch County Fire Chief. I believe there have been a lot of misconceptions that have been out there in the media in the past few days. I know some of you, or most of you, were not at the fire committee meeting, because we can only have 3 at the meeting. So I know you've seen or heard some of the stuff that was said, that's been reported in the multiple media outlets. So I just want to give you a kind of an update, what's going on. Just give the county a chance to speak and let you know exactly what is going on here. Remember, this is, and coming from Bulloch County Fire Department, this is not a city fire versus county fire thing. We love Tim Grams. He said it in his council meeting this morning. We have great firefighters. They have great firefighters. Together, when we work together on scenes, man, we get the job done and take care of things. And that still holds true today. Everything we're doing now is citizen focused, not just now, but down the line. We're looking into the future and building a better fire department. Nothing says that you can't build 2 robust fire departments that support each other in one community. And that's what we're doing. So the first thing I want to go over is automatic aid. I believe maybe one or two people brought up automatic aid. It was mentioned multiple times in our in the media outlets about automatic aid. For one, let's define what each of these are. Automatic aid means it happens on the first alarm. Right now, it only happens on reported structure fires. So as it happens now, if the Bulloch County Fire Department has a reported structure fire, Statesboro's also dispatch and they send one engine and personnel to us. And we do the exact same thing when they have a reported structure fire in the city or the 5 Mile District. We send one engine and personnel to them and any volunteers that may be close by. So it's a reciprocation with no monetary value. We're just helping each other out to help our ISO scores out. In the agreement that we have with them now in our automatic aid, we're supposed to bring personnel, engines, and tankers so that they can help maintain that straight class 2 inside the 5 Mile District. County provides that service for them to help them out with that. Mutual aid, on the other hand, is something that isn't in the contract, you don't have an agreement for, but if any county around me right now calls, just like Metter had a few months ago, and says, we got this huge, block of stores on fire in downtown, I need some help, and then we go over there and we help out. So there's a difference. One is immediately, first page. Other one is you get there on scene and then you call for help. Now, there's no, it's been spoken multiple times in the actual multiple media about there's a double taxation for the city. The county has no access to city funds, not in the operating budget or general fund or in capital. So there's no way we can spend city money on anything outside, whether it's the 5 Mile District or outside in the county. We don't spend city money, that we don't have access to it. So that's not something that can even happen. So there is no double taxation in this case. Statesboro does have 69 firefighters, 69 career and part-time firefighters. Bulloch County Fire Department has 91 certified firefighters. 48 volunteers, 31 full-time, 12 part-time, and we got 3 in training right now. The goal is to not leave anybody without fire protection, and that's been something I think has been out there, maybe not corrected, okay? We have a plan in place to put firefighters in the 5 Mile District to be able to respond to these calls. Currently, there are 0 fire stations in the 5 Mile District. In all the years Statesboro's had the 5 Mile District, they have yet once decided to build a fire station in the 5 Mile District. The county is planning on doing that. We'll have those stations in the 5 Mile District. Actually, just recently, I looked up how many years of experience that we have on the Bulloch County Fire Department. When you add up all my volunteers, my career, my part-time, I have over 1,000 years of experience of firefighting. Okay? We are, again, Tim, our Chief Grams, and their guys over there at the city bring a lot to the table. They do a good job at what they do, and they are very professional. My volunteers, part-time and full-time firefighters, are the best in the business as well. So working together, we can continue to do a good job for the citizens of the county. Now, we're going to add personnel. We're going to put personnel on scene. Right now, we're budgeted for 10 people. We have 3 stations, as y'all know, Brooklet, Portal, and Register. And when we add the stations in the 5 Mile District, come July 1, we're going to have 26 people on duty every day to be able to send to any emergency that arises in that area. Okay, that's countywide, but we're going to put 2 engine companies and a ladder company, and we're going to we already have a battalion chief that y'all allowed us to hire, and that will mirror what the city provides in that district right now. So don't let anyone tell you that we're not going to, provide that service or leave anybody hung out to dry. Now on the class ISO rating, That's obviously always going to be mentioned because that's, in the end game, that's how they base insurance off of. Right now, they are a Class 2 fire department, and we are a Class 4 4Y. We attempted, again, to go for straight class last time, missed it by this much, as they say. But we've been working out, actually, we just signed a document today, we're ordering another 3,000-gallon tanker. So we're making efforts to fill in the gaps there. But what the most important thing is we are in the business to provide quality fire protection. We're going to build stations out in the 5 Mile District where EMS is also going to go to get fire stations and EMS stations closer to our public. And this is a concerted effort to deliver a better product out to all the citizens of Bulloch County. Now, again, I just want you to just finish up my thoughts anyway, is just think about the number 0. I know some people say number's not, zero's not a number, but think of 0. In all the years, Statesboro Fire Department, and great job for doing a great job all these years. But as a Bulloch County taxpayer, those people that live in the 5 Mile District, okay, whenever we pull out of this agreement, whether it's this year, whether it's 2 years from now or 5 years from now, what will the citizens of Bulloch County have in their hand? What will they be holding? At the end of this agreement, you know how many employees we're going to take with us to start our fire department? That would be 0, because every person they ever paid stays in the city of Statesboro. You know how much equipment we get to take? That'd be none, because everything they have per the contract becomes property of the city of Statesboro. Same way with engines, same way with the ladder trucks, same way with any tankers. Everything is property, and Bulloch County doesn't get to use any of it for the rest of the county. And there, like I said before, no stations. So what do we want to do going forward? We want to build a fire department that now can be used for all of Bulloch County, that when we pay those taxes in, those people are going to be servicing the 5 Mile District, which after this won't even be called the 5 Mile District, just be the Bulloch County Fire Department District. And we want to do the best and provide the best service we can on the fire side, and also continue to try to get EMS out there. And with that, did I answer? Do y'all have any questions from the commission?
Are we completely taking over the 5 mile radius, or are we going to gradually take that over, or is that discussable?
Yes, that is a good question, actually. We presented the city with a gradual over 1 year, starting in the north end of the county. Well, we say north end, from 301 south around to 24. We would start covering that. We would collect the taxes and keep that for the county to pay for the personnel to cover that. And they will cover the rest of it, and they will collect the taxes, and then they will pay their personnel. And I'm glad you brought that up. It reminds me, one of the misconceptions I see, and I think Chief Graham said it today in his city council meeting, he wanted to make it clear that, when they say we're going to send a complement of personnel, we're going to start to handle the complement of personnel in that area once we take it over, whether it's a piece of it or if it's the whole thing. All they're doing is sending that one engine to assist us if they sign the automatic aid agreement. Multiple times in our meeting on Friday, I believe it was, I guess City Manager Penny said he wasn't going to sign an automatic aid agreement with us if we didn't give him the money. That's not something that I want to do. I want to send one engine and help them so they can have some help, and I would like for them to send one engine and help us, just because that is the neighborly thing to do. Did that answer your question, sir?
Yes, it did. Is there any way to get some maps or something of some of the possible breakdown of how that is, so we could see it and possibly the public can see it? So
Yes, sir.
we can cut down on some of this.
Yes, sir. We have, we have those maps, and then I've been tasked to get with Dow Kennedy, our communications, and we're gonna get some stuff out. We'll try to get some stuff out tomorrow for everybody to see.
Mr. Chairman, I know you're going to go into commissioner comments, but I'd like for Mr. Tapley to be standing there when I. Some of the misconception, I just want Mr. Tapley, Chief Tapley, to stand there. There's a lot of misconception. There's two things. There's automatic aid and there's mutual aid. Automatic aid is when the fire bell rings, everybody runs for their truck. And if you got an agreement and you signed up on automatic aid, City of Statesboro is going to send a truck, we're going to send a truck, automatic aid. Mutual aid, if a fire's big, you can't refuse mutual aid. We got to come to them, they got to come to us, like Chief Tapley said. If Metter has a fire, they can't handle it. City of Statesboro, whatever surrounding, Reedsville, whoever's got to go to them to get that fire put out. I mean, you have to do that. You have no choice. We have no choice. There's a lot of misconception when they say, well, I'm not going to render automatic aid, but there's a lot of people say, oh, well, we ain't going to have fire protection. No, you're going to have it because everybody's got to go. The difference is the agreement between automatic aid and mutual aid. Automatic just means when the bell rings, they start to the truck. If they don't sign that, all that means is the bell rings, whoever's responsible for that district has to go fight the fire, and when they get there, if they see they ain't got enough, they render mutual aid called, and they have to come. Correct? Not correct?
That's correct.
I just wanted to, because that's a big, when they stated that, or it was stated in our meetings the other day, I had my phone rang and everybody said, oh, well, we ain't gonna have coverage in the 5 Mile District because they said that. I said, no, that ain't what it means. You're gonna have coverage. We just trying to work it out now. Like the question was asked, are you gonna take it all over, part of it? That's still in negotiations between the city and the county. At this point in time, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. And to answer the other question, yes, we do have a plan, either way it happens. If we postpone it for a year, we got a plan. If we take over half of it, we got a plan. If we have to take over all of it, we got a plan.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Okay.
Go ahead.
How many calls percentage-wise are to the city versus to the fire district? Like, one of
That
the,
they respond to?
that, this, yeah, that's the city, they keep saying, oh, Bulloch County only pays 30% of our entire fire county budget, but I was just wondering how many calls actually go just to the city, the 17 miles versus the 96 miles?
Yeah, we were actually trying to look that up today, because they said in last year's State of the City address, they ran 400 calls out into the district. Last time I saw, they ran about, 1,500 calls, I think, the last one we found, so that's roughly 1,100 calls, and this is Chief Grams, don't get on to me, I'm shooting from the hip here, it's around 1,000 or so calls inside the city that they primarily respond to, and about 400 calls or so out into the county.
But what about the difference between the fire district and the city? Like the
That's-
17 miles versus the 96 miles? Like, I understand the automatic gate out to the rural.
No, that's not,
That's
that's
400 just to the fire
400
district.
in the
fire
5 Mile District, what is called the 5 Mile District.
So then the 30% that the county is paying makes sense.
It
So
makes
then the
sense.
30% that the county is paying towards the city fire department makes sense because proportionally,
In my opinion, it doesn't make sense because of the, if you're only investing in something now and not for down the road, then you're not going to never going to get your return on your investment.
I agree with you. I was just saying, they are trying to make it a talking point that we don't pay our fair share, which I disagree with.
Yeah, $2.5 million.
It's
is
plenty.
a lot.
Let's just take these. We'll be here all night taking individual questions. Chief Tapley will be here. Y'all can ask him individual questions after you get done. I'll stay around. We're happy to have this discussion with y'all. Any other comments?
Yes, you have before you another summary sheet. I know, again, it's a big sheet with small writing on it, but there was a lot of things to fit on there. And then I just wanted to tell you that we received one more additional application for the mitigation committee since we met last week. So at this point, we've received, what do I have, I think, 18 applications. So you know, I'm ready to hear feedback on how you all would like to proceed with selecting those members. Like I said last week, I think Bryan County did 3. The plan calls for 3, but they did an alternate as well, which I think might not be a bad idea just in case someone has to drop out for some reason. So with that, I'll just let you all give me some feedback on that.
This time, and I've had some calls from various parts of the county. They are having some trouble with the site, the website. They're going off because Miss Venus has emailed some of them back because they put the application in on the wrong spot or something. Anyways, but I've had 3 or 4 calls about it. Can we let this go another week? I think it'd be very beneficial to us, and they let them maybe come in and do it in person.
Yeah,
They have
I
that
mean,
much
that's up to
trouble.
y'all. It just, that's more manual labor for me,
For us,
but that's
anyway,
fine.
I'll get the site. I'll get the link from them and.
Yeah, no, definitely if there's an issue, let me know. I did close it today at, I think, 2:30
Yeah.
because I had not received any, but otherwise I haven't had any issue, nobody's reported any issues, but I'll be happy to.
So, I mean, if we could go just another, until next Tuesday and shut it down then?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Toby on that. I would make a suggestion, though. I think we should try to, if we're going to limit it to 3, we may try to, if we're going to do this, pick individuals from each section of the county and not just concentrate in one end of the county when we get to that point.
That'll be fine. I will open it back up. If anybody else has issues, just have them contact me, or if you can't get me, which is pretty hard these days, Miss Mitzi White can definitely pass that message along to me. In the meantime, I did want to tell you, I sent you all an email today, but just as a reminder, I have asked the water engineer and the water consultant to come in at our next morning meeting, which is February the 18th. I believe, yes, February 18th. Immediately following our regular meeting, I've asked them to have a work session with you all just to kind of give you a rundown of where we've been, where we're going, what decisions need to be made regarding all of these things. So I think it'll line up nicely if we keep the applications open for another week, because then you'll get to have that discussion with them and learn a little bit more about what we need to do moving forward. Thank you. Christy, I think Christy has a couple of announcements too.
I do. You all recall a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sent an email with some of like our strategic initiatives that we've kind of used for the budget process the last couple of years. I haven't heard any feedback, so I was just wondering if anybody has anything they want to change, add, budget priorities that you'd like to let me know about. If you could try to respond to that email or give me a call sometime within the next week or so, because we need to get the budget process kicked off. And then along that line, HOP graciously talked to Georgia Southern. We have used the Bishop Building over there for the budget retreat the last couple of years, and it's worked out well. If we want to do that again, it is available, and we have tentatively booked it pending our final decision for Monday, March 17th. Tuesday, we could, we do have a commission meeting in the morning, but we could use it, go over there in the afternoon, and then we could also have Wednesday morning, so if we wanted to try and fit it into those, all day Monday and then Tuesday afternoon and/or Wednesday morning, that would work. So just let us know and we can get that scheduled and set up and get all the planning going. Thank you.
I'll just add to that too. We need to go ahead and give Georgia Southern a confirmation fairly quickly. That is the week of Georgia Southern spring break, and that tends to be in high demand that week. Georgia Southern lets us use it for free, which we very much appreciate. So if that's something that you want to do, especially for those of you that haven't necessarily participated in a budget retreat before, is typically one full day and then half, maybe just a little bit more than half of the following day is what we do. But as Christy said, we have a commission meeting that morning, so that Tuesday morning. So we could do all day Monday, have our commission meeting Tuesday morning, and then set a certain time that we're all going to move over there to finish out the budget retreat. So I think the most important thing right now is just to let us know if that's something you don't want to do. If you don't, we need to, talk about where you want to do it, how you want to do it, what format. Otherwise, we need to get that room booked and confirmed.
I think that's worked well for us in the past.
Let's just go ahead and clarify this right now. Any issues with doing this on the 17th and 18th? Looks like we're good for the 17th and the 18th.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead.
I just want to talk about a town hall meeting a couple of weeks ago, something. I've nailed down the date of February 25th, that Tuesday, from about 6 to 7:30. It's going to be at the Louetta Moore Center. It'll be open to the public, whoever y'all come up talk. It sounds like we might be talking about some fire that night, or water, or whatever y'all want to talk about. All the commissioners are invited. We'll give you more details whenever the time comes, or closer to the date, but I just want to let y'all know February 25th, Town Hall, 6 to 7:30. Thank y'all.
And I'd like to steal your thunder there a little bit. We're going to have an open meeting after the next county commission meeting, which is on, give me the date again, please, ma'am.
18th, February 18th.
So this is going to be an open meeting where we're going to have the water consultants here. I'm going to make some folks mad, and I'm going to just tell you right now that we are not going to have any questions from the public at this meeting. The simple reason why is I'm going to have these consultants come in and lay all the cards on the table, everything related to wells. You're going to hear it for the first time that we're going to hear it, and we're all going to process this stuff and digest it together. The next week, which will be the 25th, is that correct? Yes, sir. We're going to have a town hall meeting. Ms. Venus is going to put this on the calendar and post it. We're going to invite y'all to come out then, and we'll have an opportunity there for everybody to come out and ask questions. And I would like to invite the water consultants to come back if they would, please, then as well, so that we can ask them those questions and have a chance for us to, so that they can, when they come in to present this information, they can present the information uninterrupted, and we can hear it, and everybody can process it. And then we can come back the next week and think, after we've thought about it, and ask some questions. Is that fair?
Mr. Chairman, the citizens of Bulloch County have been briefed on the water with the EPD people, 2 meetings. Will the EPD people be there at this meeting?
This is the water consultants, Mr. Emily. This is not the EPD.
So we might have a different side of the story.
Well, this is the EPD folks, or excuse me, the water mitigation folks, the paid consultants that are working with the water mitigation plan.
Okay, thank you.
So, does that cover everything there?
Yes, it does. I think so, Mr. Emily. It's basically I'm asking them to come in to tell these guys what they need to do, what's in the best interest of the county, and what do we need to do going forward. And so these people are hired by Bulloch County, and they're working for Bulloch County's interest.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Any other comments from the staff? Commissioners?
I got one. Mr. Robert, will you please come up here and give us a little bit of update on some things? And that one question, I had a citizen get kind of upset with me, and I have to apologize to him because I wouldn't stand there and lie to him because I did not know the answer. And I should have knew the answer, and I should have knew it, but my mind was wrapped around other things, and I was caught with a, hey, will you answer this question for me? What about $10 million? Which $10 million? And I'm sorry, I apologize to that citizen, although he's left now, but I apologize to him. I did not, my mind was on this meeting and other things with employees, and At that time, I did not have an answer for him. I know we're gonna talk about the cleanup. First go around, this commission budgeted, I'm not gonna hold you to a point, but what was it, 5.5 million?
Roughly 3 million.
3 million?
Yeah.
And then what was the
Around 7.
next
yeah.
one was 7? So $10 million.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We got an argument over if it was $10 million or not, and I don't know if it was 9.8 or 10.5, but I could not answer the question, and then I know you wanted to talk about the cleanup.
Yes, sir, I appreciate that. Robert Siemens, Assistant Director of Public Works. I just want to give you all a brief overview of where we're standing as of today. Currently, we are approximately 75% complete on the cleanup. Right now in Bulloch County, we have 24 haulers in place that are working every day. The big number that we're throwing out there right now, remember when we first went into this, it was projected at 250,000 cubic yards. That was initially what we were working on as a guesstimate. As of today, we have collected 259,965 cubic yards. We're going to push every bit of 300,000 cubic yards plus before we get finished. Currently, we have taken down 29,769 leaners or hangers. That is hazards that were out over the road that could potentially injure our citizens. Right now, if you go by any of our laydown sites, the debris, you've started noticing that it has been mulched. Just about every site has been mulched for the first go-round. We've got more that's still coming in there. We're going to have to come back in and mulch some more. The number I pulled off the portal a while ago when I was sitting in the meeting, we currently have hauled out 14,700 cubic yards of mulch, and that is about 138 tractor trailer loads. And we've got a bunch more still out there. With those numbers, we are working every day with our monitoring staff and with our hauling staff. We've been encouraging them the whole time to try to get more equipment in here. They're doing it. They're doing their job. We have been identifying places that we still got to go back to again. I picked up on one earlier today. I was coming back into the county on Pulaski Highway. We've got to get out there and get hold of it. It's got a lot of debris still out there. As we're finding these places, we are turning them into the hauling contractor where they can add them to the list. We're adding them to our list, and we are trying to address them. This past week, I've had 5 different citizens contact me that, hey, just didn't want y'all to forget. I've added them to the list. I'm asking the people to send me their information or give me their information. We add it to the list. We pass it right then to our contractors. So we are trying to stay atop of this. With that, that is the current numbers that I have available from the portal to update you with.
I appreciate that, and I know y'all been hard at it, and I know not only that, in the offices fighting with GMA and everybody else, they're not really wanting to cooperate with us, but we appreciate everything y'all doing in the office and all the employees, what they're doing out there working for us.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
I know we're going to have a final push. Are we still looking like we're going to hit the 180-day mark on this to get everything wrapped up?
I hope so.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I can't tell you that rock hard.
Yeah, I understand. I just
Right now, so that you know, we are right at that 120-day mark, and we still have stuff out in the county.
Gotcha. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I still see it everywhere. I just, with y'all's numbers, I was just seeing if it looked like y'all were projecting to kind of be pretty close to that, because I know that FEMA money turns over a little bit at that 180-day mark.
The 180, you can get an extension on.
We did get the
You
extension.
can ask for an extension on the 180.
Okay. Yes, sir. We can ask for an extension on the 180 days, not the 120 part, but the 180. We can carry that
Good
further
extension,
out.
okay.
We've actually had to do that for for other storms that we're already dealing with all the way back to Adelia.
Okay. And I know I asked you before, but whenever we kind of get closer to the end, could we make some big announcements, website, Facebook, everything to kind of let everybody know in the county to, all right, we're working on the final push and let's go ahead and get everything out 30, 45 days out.
If they've
so we
got
can kinda-
something storm-related, they need to go ahead and get out there. This is not one of those, well, I'm trimming the hedges this weekend, I'm gonna throw it out there. That ain't storm-related.
Yeah, no, I understand
The
that.
storm-related stuff, they need to have it out there right now, because I'm not gonna take calls later on, hey, we put it out there, but we missed the date.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just wanted to kind of make sure that was possible. So appreciate it. Thank
Absolutely.
y'all.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank y'all.
I do have one question. If someone has a tree that fell over, that's on a dirt road, which I guess technically is owned by the citizen, but if a tree falls onto their property, like huge oak tree, is that storm debris or is it just stuff that's in the easement or falling into the easements of the public, right of way?
What I'll tell you there is if it is something that is storm-related, it is contiguous to the easement, cut it up, get it out to the edge of the road, we'll come by and pick it up. If it's up in your farm properties and stuff, no, sir, I'm not there to clean up pecan fields.
Yes. Yeah, there's, Levy Deloach, they maintain those roads, but there's lots of oak trees right up against the ditch. And I know several oak trees fell over, and I think they came through and initially cleaned up the road. But this one gentleman has this big in his property, ain't got no way to get it off.
Yeah, we don't go up into property, we won't go in there and touch it, that would be something that they would have to bring out if it's contiguous to the right of way. Any other staff comments? Commissioner comments?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a comment that I'd like to make. I look out there and I see the Boy Scouts here, and I hadn't heard why they here, other than just maybe it's their civic duty that they come and hear a meeting.
They were bored tonight, didn't have anything better to do.
Well, I just like to recognize them and their parents. I mean, just being a boy. I was a Boy Scout, Troop 332.
I find that hard to believe, Mr. Rushing.
Some 50-something years ago. I didn't make Eagle Scout, and that's what made my hair fall out. So, hey, what it is. But I would, with the chairman's grace and permission, I would like for them and their families to come in here, and I'd like these commissioners to go down and take a picture with you. I got a picture of me and my dog, and it's still hanging on in my Boy Scout uniform. And if one of you feel brave, just so if you haven't never been in the Boy Scouts, if you wanna recite the Boy Scout motto, it's fine with us. It just speaks volume for y'all and your family for taking
Absolutely, absolutely. If y'all wouldn't mind, come up here one more time and let us embarrass you again.
You wanna go down? We gonna get behind y'all. Son, we gonna get behind y'all. Any mamas and daddies, any of y'all wanna get in it? Y'all go there.
We'll just take a picture.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Squeeze together a little bit. Squeeze together. Yeah. Bring in on the wings.
There's so many of them, I don't know where to look.
Just smile and wave.
Smile away.
Thank you.
All right.
And I was told by one of the mamas, I think, they're working on their citizenship badge. That's what they doing here.
Okay. Last comments for tonight. I owe some folks an apology. I know there's some people that have tried to find me on the website. And I've gotten some hate mail about our website manager needs to be fired because my picture isn't up there yet. Our website manager is Mr. Dow Kennedy. We look somewhat alike, and I've told people that I might have him sit in on a few meetings for me. He told me I could not grow a beard because if I did, they would mix us up. It is not his fault. It is mine. We had school picture day last month at this meeting, and my wife picked out the picture. You know, I don't have much to work out with here, but she picked out the picture, and I got busy and never told him to put the picture up, the one that she picked out. And I've got about 3 sentences of a biography written because everything has come at me wide open for the last month, and I still owe him a biography. So give him some grace. It's not his fault. It's mine. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that, you know, these folks up here, they work hard for y'all. Over the last few days, well, since about last Thursday with this fire stuff, I've spent a lot of time on the phone talking with folks, and I don't mind doing it. You know, I volunteered to do this, and I'm happy to talk with you and listen to you, and I'll answer your questions the best that I can. I won't ask you to do one thing, though. You can call me up, you can cuss at me, you can talk bad to me, you can do whatever you want. That's fine. But I'm going to ask you to do one thing. When you get off the phone, you say a prayer for us. Say a prayer for us to have the wisdom to do the right thing for the people of this county. I know there's people out there that think that we do things for selfish motivations and that you question what we do. I can tell you, this fire stuff, it's hard choices. And I know there's people in this 5 Mile district that they're concerned about what's going on. I can assure you that you're going to have fire protection, no matter how this shakes out. You will have fire protection. But I need you to realize, too, that there are other people in this county right now that ain't got no fire protection. We want to make sure they get something, too. And we're working to not only make sure that we maintain what we got, but we have a plan that we can build out to get them something. Like I told everybody in that meeting last week, there have been changes in this county in the last 15 years since that plan was made. I didn't have anything to do with that plan being dissolved. I can't do anything about that. But moving forward, I can do something about it. And I'm going to do something about it. We've presented a plan. We've offered people the opportunity to provide us feedback and to provide us a counter to that. We're open to discussion on that. But we're going to make sure that the people of this county are protected. I've sworn 3 oaths in my life. One to that woman back there, one to protect and defend this nation, and one to protect and defend this county. That's not something I take lightly. It's something that I'm going to do. These men up here have done the same thing. We will do that. You're going to have to put some trust and faith in us and allow us a few minutes to figure this out. I'm happy to sit around here all night with you, and we'll talk about it if you want to. I'll get a piece of paper out and I'll draw it out the best I can for you. I want you to have understanding, and I want you to have some faith that we're trying to do the right thing for you. That's all I got for you. And with that, I think that covers everything we have for the evening. no one has anything else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor? You have a unanimous decision to adjourn. Thank y'all very much. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you. Appreciate you.